Well, we knew that many Calgarians would be going to sleep on election night without knowing who their next mayor would be. And waking up the following day, we have 38th mayor in Calgary's history. Jeromy Farkas is the mayor-elect, not by a large lead, leading by about 600 votes to Sonia Sharp. I am joined in studio by Lori Williams, a professor of political science with Mount Royal University. Thank you for joining us.
I'm great to be with you.
Did you get much sleep last night? Were you up late watching results?
Yeah, but I mean, that's probably true of a lot of Calgarians. And a bit surprised that we had the final count, because I thought they stopped counting at 1 o'clock and they got these final results at about 4:30 this morning.
Oh my goodness. You know, kudos to those election workers who are getting those votes counted for us. And so we have Jeromy Farkas, the mayor-elect, will be Calgary's next mayor. What are your thoughts on that?
It'll be a real test of his leadership. So voter turnout was a bit better than I thought it was going to be. It was about 39%, but you know, he's still got about 30% of that vote. Really close, tight race. Not a really resounding mandate, and probably a pretty challenging bunch of councillors to wrangle. So it'll be a huge test of his leadership, and it'll be interesting to see how he manages this. We know he's changed a lot since he was last on council, kept a very high public profile. That was key to his success. He was at the lead in the polls from the beginning and all night last night, not by much, but still in the lead. So I mean, it's clear that he was in the lead from the get-go on this.
With Jeromy Farkas currently set to sit in the mayor's seat, what can Calgarians expect from Jeromy Farkas?
That's the open question. I think some people are wondering, is it which Jeromy Farkas is it going to be? I think we've seen a pretty clear shift since he was on council. He's moved a bit more to the center. He's been willing to criticize people across the ideological spectrum. And frankly, in municipal politics, and we're seeing this in the results, you know, ideology and party are not what people are focused on. Issues are what they're focused on. He's pledged to listen. Of course, Calgarians disagree about a lot of things, so listening doesn't necessarily yield a clear result. But that part of his message, I think, really resonated. The fact that he said that he was going to listen, that he was out there sort of connecting with Calgarians and wanting to respond in a nuanced way to some of the controversial issues like zoning. So he's not going to just go back to the way it was before, promise something that he may not be able to deliver there, but to look again at what might be possible to tweak with respect to that policy. There are going to be challenges working with the provincial government on things like the Green Line and other matters, perhaps adjusting the election law so we don't have the kinds of issues that we had yesterday. But I think it's going to, again, be a real challenge for Jeromy Farkas, a test of his leadership. But I think we're going to see the necessity for a team effort. We've got a lot of new, potentially as many as 11 new people on council. If Jeromy Farkas does stay in the mayor's chair, it's at least 9. We've got 2 sitting councillors who look like they're in a race and might lose their seats.
As we're saying, you know, it's not a definitive win for Jeromy Farkas yet. We've got Sonia Sharp with, you know, to be in second place by about 600 votes when, you know, we have Farkas just over 91,000 votes. Sonia Sharp is in the high 90,000 votes. What does that mean for Sharp's campaign that they're right there? They're so close to you know, potentially becoming the next mayor.
They've got to be wondering about some of those people who left the lineup last night. Really close race, and certainly she can walk away from this proud that she ran a strong campaign. Might even have a role here in terms of trying to bring support to council from outside. There is likely to be a recount, but finding 585 votes is going to be a long shot, I would suggest. I think what we're seeing here again is when you've got 2 candidates so close, and basically 4 candidates within very close margins to one another, it isn't as decisive a victory or loss as the case may be. And I think that's going to make all of this a little bit more challenging.
For the mayor-elect, what do the next few days look like for them? What is on their to-do list?
Well, I think for Jeromy Farkas, it's going to be, and he said this wisely in my view, that he's going to reach out and talk to the people on council, see where they can find common ground. You know, I think one of the great things about a leader, you don't need to know everything. You need to be open to listening and making good judgments about the information.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Lori, for that. And there we have it, Jeromy Farkas sitting as the 38th mayor for the city of Calgary. Lori, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jillian.